This hospital is filled with all kinds of sounds. And many of them are stressful. I mean, it's amazing how many different sounds are clamoring for our attention. And I think the gift of bringing a sense of harmony, of lightheartedness, in some ways of bringing all these sounds together, does something for the spirit.
The alarms and the things like that that we have within our environment are meant to catch someone's attention. They're meant to be intrusive. That's the whole point. That's how they're designed. And the noise that's associated with having an artist come in, or having someone go down the hallway playing the guitar, or having groups come in and sing around the holidays, is very different.
Good job.
Thank you. Hope y'all everything goes great and have a great afternoon.
Thank you.
I bring excellent professional artists to patients in the hospital, mostly in their rooms, and my thought is to bring them solace and joy. Really those two things.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. You're a good man. Can you get ready? You actually drum me out. Yeah. You are a very good drummer, man. You're a very, very good drummer.
When we get to the floor that I've chosen for this particular artist's art that I think would match, for example, cancer needs a softer tone. Other floors, orthopedics might need a little more energy. And when I get to the room of the patients they recommend, I knock on the door very softly so as not to wake anybody up. And I ask, would it be all right if I brought a singer into your room for a couple of minutes to sing you a song?
If you don't mind me eating, I don't mind you singing.
I think that's a good combo. Excellent.
And then the artist sets up for a moment or two, and then they play.
Bum, 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 bum. I used to love you, baby, but you played so hard to get. So I found me someone else who made you easy to forget. You could have had me, baby. Well, back when the time was right. Oh, yeah.
Any good healer has to think of all the different parts of their patient's response to a particular situation. But many of our clinical healers are focusing on the physical manifestations of any kind of disease. And I think our artists are able to see the pain, the suffering, the fear, the loneliness, and just address it directly with the help of their art.
Let's see, what should I draw? Tell me what I should draw, though.
Can you whisper to me?
Yeah, tell your mom.
Okay. Everybody else gets to pick for you. Guys, what does Benny like?
What is he like? Do you guys have a pet? Do you have a dog or cat at home?
Yes, and puppies.
And puppies?
Puppies.
Wait a minute, you have puppies?
Yes, we
Would you
do.
like one or two?
I truly believe that people get better by the chemicals that run around the body when you're feeling happy or energized or interested, curious or surprised. And so that's what my artists bring.
I have seen a room transformed right in front of my very eyes. And I've often been brought to tears in those moments.
These puppies might be ready to go. One more, I'll squeeze one in.
Yeah.
No, I'll have one just walking here.
Yeah, we're just walking.
Yeah. With 8 puppies.
It's nice to have like I said earlier, a respite, sort of a break from everything that's going on. And then it also, if you're constantly living in a state of anxiety and fear about what's going to happen, that has a tendency to build on itself. And without sort of a release, it can overwhelm patients. And it's nice to just sort of take them out and sort of transport them to an alternate universe where they can just focus on themselves or their art or something different.
Music, it's loud, it's fast, it gets you going, it's soft, it's gentle, it calms you down physiologically. Dance, to see there's something exciting, they're on the toe, they're spinning, there's a little worry for them, there's excitement, there's delight. All those emotions don't necessarily happen sitting in a bed.
Now watch this. So you just find the, isn't it soft?
Because you're able to transport the human, the listener's mind out of where they are. They even forget about where they are.
There it is. Oh yes. If Alice can go underneath it. Okay, ready? Go. Go under, Alice.
So it transports and it opens up different pieces of the emotions and the brain and the spirit.
Because I'm transporting them. So I transport them. Yeah. So that's what I love, because it's challenging, but again, that's what this is all about. You sharing, It's all about sharing. You got to share. You got to reach out. Somebody is feeling vulnerable. You got to reach out. And we should all have that in us, to reach out. But because we're able to distract these patients from whatever, and we're not told what kind of illness they have. That's the challenge. But to be able to distract them in a good way, whether through music, through story, through, just what we bring, I think is so important. And it's all part of healing.
The most important thing is to build as much as possible an immediate and deliberate place of safety. And music has a way of opening up that safe space and inviting all of us into that space in a way that sometimes the spoken word cannot.
One of the biggest benefits is learning that you can have 20 minutes that were pain-free. That you are learning, not only is it shifting for right then, but it's shifting for the future, because you were able to experience a time when you weren't focused on it. And it gives you an opportunity to think, how did I feel right then?
The other one that I hear a lot about are the caricatures. People love that. The surprise of happening upon a caricature artist there that's able to ask them about something that's important to them outside of the hospital, and then being able to take that back up to their room and either put it on their door or put it on their wall. And it's actually a conversation starter for caregivers, to come in and say, oh, I didn't realize that you were a dancer, or I didn't realize you played baseball.
It's beautiful.
I've seen people sitting in rooms and, one's they're either watching TV and then we play music and they sit closer and a little closer and then they hold hands.
Let me shake your hand. God bless you.
Did I hug you?
No, ma'am.
You won't let me, or will you let me?
Ever since I started working in the hospital, my thought was if the nursing staff and doctors and environmental services and the dietary people who are around feel better, they're going to be sweeter to the patients. It shifts their load.
And I think we overlook that. I think as care providers, you know, part of their training is to build them up so that they can shoulder a load and so that they can suck it up and keep it moving and push through and work longer hours. And I think we forget that they're really just people. And it was nice to have the artists come in, not for the patient's sake so much, but for the staff.
So I've always felt this need for music in the hospital, but not always sure how to bring it. And as a musician for all of my life, I have struggled with that. And so the drums were the perfect way for me to step in the unit and bring people together.
And artists tend to be very sensitive, open to humanity. I mean, they get all their inspiration for their work from their own sensitivities and openness and senses. And so these experiences, I've heard the musicians and my artists speak of as very meaningful and helpful in their careers, in their art. So it's really a win-win-win-win-win.
But I wish I was a catfish swimming in the deep blue sea. I'd have all the pretty women here swimming after me, yeah. I mean, I was scared to death. I played in some big places, Anaheim Stadium, Madison Square Garden, and going into a hospital room was scarier than any of those the first time, because you just don't know what to expect. I've been in a similar situation, and I just know how kind of sacred it is, your space, and I felt kind of funny going into somebody else's, walking into their situation. But the first visit just was enlightening. Well, God bless you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
And get out of here.
Yes, yes.
We're wishing you well. We are hoping you get better and
Thank
get
you.
home very soon.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for dropping by.
So I really think door-to-door or artists being part of the healing process in the hospital, I think it really has its place. And I'm glad that, you know, some hospitals are doing it. It's very important, you know, and it just makes somebody stay. They're behind the wall, you come they're in the wall, you come from behind the wall, and you make their day. That's how I see myself.
It is endlessly interesting every time the door opens, and it is like a curtain. You don't know who's behind the door. So it's a surprise. How do I interact? How do I make this work possible? Loud, soft, fast, slow? What's the mood? What's the tempo? What do they feel? So it's endlessly interesting, and it's phenomenal. Like, it chills a little bit. I mean, sometimes it's truly phenomenal, and always it's interesting, always.
'Cause I know now I would sing, 'cause I know, yes I would sing, 'cause I know how it feels. Oh, I know what you know what I mean. I know you know just how it feels to
Thank you.